Everyone. Welcome back to Quest for Literature. Today, let us see the life and work of Francis Bacon. Bacon is one of my favorite prose writer. He is also known as the principal prose writer. He was born on 22nd January 1562 as the second son of a famous lawyer and statesman. As a young boy itself, he shows his wit, and that attracts the queen, and she had given him the name the young Lord Keeper. And his father is the keeper of the Great Seal of England, and he had got his education at Trinity College, Cambridge. In preparation of a career of statesmanship, he was sent to Paris in pursuit of English ambassador. His father died in 1579, and then he chose his profession to be a lawyer. And he was called to bar in 1582, and he became Queen's Counsel in 1589. Francis Bacon became an orator in the House of Commons. After the assassination of James I, there is a rapid growth in favor and fortune. But after 1621, there is a sudden crash. There, he was impeached before the House of Lords for official malpractice, and he was sentenced to a fine of 40,000 euro. And Francis Bacon was banished from the Parliament and court. At last he received a royal pardon. Remaining years he spent in scholarly pursuit, and he was died of cold cod while he was making a scientific experiment. Bacon's character is a compound of contradictions and inconsistencies. He believed himself that he was born for the service of mankind. He devoted his wonderful powers to the advancement of that knowledge. He himself says that the glory of the Creator and the relief of man's estate. He sacrificed much for the sake of wealth and power, and for the satisfaction of his inordinate ambitions. He is good in moral teaching. He resolves itself into the narrowness, expedience, and utilitarianism. Now, let's see the timeline in the life of Francis Bacon. He was born in 1561, and his father died in 1579, and he was called to the bar in 1582, and then he became the Queen's Counsel in 1589. In 1597 he published his first book named Essays. Then in 1603 he was knighted. Then in 1613 he became the Attorney General. Then in 1616 he became the Privy Councillor. In 1617 he became the Lord Keeper. In 1618 he became the Lord Chancellor and the Baron Verulam. Then in 1621 he became the Viscount of St. Albans. Then in 1626 he died. Let's see the works of Francis Bacon. He wrote voluminously on many subjects, and his greatest works are The Advancement of Learning and Novum Organum. Baconian method of studying nature you can see in these two works. This belonged to history, not of general literature, but of science and philosophy. These two works, The Advancement of Learning and Novum Organum, you can see the scientific experiment of Francis Bacon. As a literature student, we people never study these works. Is the most important work in the world of literature, that is essays or counsel civil and modern. This one was first published in 1597, and it had got another two editions, that is in 1612 and 1629. And this was suggested by the essays of Montaigne, a French thinker. Actually, Montaigne is the writer who inspires Francis Bacon to write essays. And he had used the term essay in its original etymological sense. The etymological word of the term essay is assay, and it means a trial or attempt. The essays intend as dispersed meditations. Come to his character, he is practical in character, and the salient features or the salient qualities of his works are the extraordinary insight and sagacity. His first biographer says about his style as it is marked by general orateness, fondness for imagery, a love of analogy and metaphor. And Francis Bacon was known for his aphoristic way of writing. And in his works, you can see he had used a lot of Latin quotation. So his works are highly Latinized. Francis Bacon has an almost unrivaled power of packing his thoughts into the smallest possible space and adapting a phrase from Marlowe's Jew of Malta. We can say, therefore, describing his essays as infinite riches in a small room. For listening till the time we meet next. Stay tuned to Quest for Literature. Keep reading and know the world.